You can imagine that being like a digital company, there's a lot that we can do, and I think you'd be right. But we mainly focus on three different verticals. That would be hospitality, that would be insurance, and that would be technology. So we enabled the infrastructure of organizations to take on the future. And in a way, I feel that we kind of still do that. We hold on to the original mission, we just accomplish it in different ways.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Josh Skirvin, Digital Content Lead at Oz Digital Consulting. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing good, Andrew. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, it's my distinct pleasure. Thank you for spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about Oz Digital Consulting.
So I'm the digital content lead here at Oz. I want to say for a digital consulting company, it's kind of a big role. I coordinate a lot of the posting, what the optics of the company are, what the customers are seeing, what social media is getting presented, as well as the subject matter experts, their thoughts, their opinions, organizing it and getting it out there. And of course, understanding the product, what we do at Oz, how we do it, and where that fits into our digital space in this digital era.
It is definitely a digital era. So tell us a little bit about Oz Digital Consulting. What do you do for your clients?
If I could summarize what Oz Digital Consulting does in one word, or maybe two, hyphenated even, it would be digital transformation. I think translating someone or a company, an organization, however you'd like to view it, from analog to digital is really how I look at it. You take a company with legacy systems, you take a company who is not connected, there's disparate systems all over the place, their data is disjointed. We go in there, we not only can construct a way forward for them, a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, an 18-month plan, but we enable them for success in the short to long term with APIs, updated cloud systems, and even a team to stay behind and manage systems and make sure everything goes smoothly. It's really a one-stop shop for the digital facelift that I think most organizations are searching for now, especially in the COVID climate or post-COVID climate.
Excellent. And what's the origin story of Oz Digital Consulting? How long they've been around?
25 years, a quarter century, as we like to say in marketing.
Wow, digital transformation was not a term 25 years ago.
And that's right. That's right. I like to think of the origin story of Oz Digital almost like a Titan or Mount Olympus kind of origin story. So there were two brothers and one cousin. That would be Amjad and Assad, who created Oz Digital Consulting and Jet Health, respectively. Then their other cousin, who is actually in charge of our offshore office overseas in Lahore, he maintains AAJ Computer Technologies, and they all work under this umbrella of Oz.
So there's all family members behind the curtain.
Exactly. And so they kind of,
sorry to use the analogy, but it's there for the taking.
Yes. And so they kind of branched out and focused on different areas. I want to say that AAJ kind of provided a physical touch and tech component. So they would go into offices back when, let's say, Microsoft is just coming out. Bill Gates is unveiling this unheard of new product called Microsoft Word, and it is blowing the minds of tech gurus the world over. Well, AAJ would go in there and physically place the equipment in, set it all up, provide a tech infrastructure where there was none before. And so along that theme, Oz kind of did the same here in the States. We enabled the infrastructure of organizations to take on the future. And in a way, I feel that we kind of still do that. We hold on to the original mission, we just accomplish it in different ways.
Well, hey, the definition of the future of technology is changing by the day these days, right? Things are moving very quickly. It used to be, you'd see wholesale change in a decade.
Right.
You can't get through a month without some product or concept splashing that changes the landscape of what you do now.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Tell me about what verticals do you service? What sort of clients do you work with?
You can imagine that being like a digital company, there's a lot that we can do, and I think you'd be right. But we mainly focus on three different verticals. That would be hospitality,
Mhm.
that would be insurance, and that would be technology. I think these three verticals really encompass everything we're trying to accomplish when it comes to digital transformation. And it speaks to the majority of the clients that we serve. I think that umbrella covers every current and past client we have.
Well, if you say technology, you've just
That's it,
you a pretty
right?
wide berth, right?
It is, it is. And to that effect, I do want to narrow that a little further. When I say technology, we're dealing primarily with systems, cloud technologies and APIs, software, a lot of development applications, that sort of technology.
Gotcha. And what makes Oz stand out from its competition?
From the start, from that quarter century ago, we have been innovating. And to this day, we are innovating. We have fresh clients. We are going in there with tools and methodologies that are breakout, that are different. They accomplish results in a short period of time. And we see continually from our clients, the conversation that they have with Oz is, oh my God, no one has connected to us to our vision and mission in this way. Our operations are directly aligned with what we want to do. We have all of the ability to accomplish what we set out to, and our shareholders love it because it's a clear path forward. And that is what differentiates us, is that we can go in there with a game plan, with the ability to institute the technology, the ability to manage it off or on site, and then keep in constant contact with the customer to make sure that they're satisfied in their digital transformation journey.
What are the most common problems that you're solving for your clients?
So the most common problems that we're solving for our clients, and I think the way that that has developed over the past 2 years, is that we're seeing an increase in application development. We're seeing an increase in requests for APIs, connecting the systems that are already there and bringing data into one observable universe, I think is primarily what our clients want to see. And we do have a client right now that we've been working with actually through the Levan Center. If you've ever heard of the Alan B. Levan Broward NSU Center for Innovation, they work with a lot of entrepreneurs. They're making a huge splash in the South Florida scene right now. They're partnered with NSU, which is Nova Southeastern University. They operate as an extension of that university to empower the kind of corporate side of education and post-education. So the individuals who are graduating, who are entrepreneurs, who are trying to break out into this space and be successful, we're working with those individuals and kind of giving them that ladder, that step into business success. And one way that we've been doing that is empowering solutions like VR and AR, which has been personally something I'm extremely excited about. I see that as a young person or individual and see the business future. I see this as the way to interconnect all of us and really define the new business landscape.
If you can get into it, what sort of use
Sure.
cases for VR are you working on?
I'm glad you asked because again, prior to working with these clients, I had I had a very narrow view of what that could accomplish. So for instance, let's say that you want to have a conference overseas, or you simply want to address a topic, right? And you have clients, customers, individuals who are interested in your company that maybe are limited by geography, they're limited by finances or resources. Well, when you bring it under VR, you can actually see that those barriers melt away. Communication barriers melt away. You can go into a privatized space digitally and intersect on so many cultural barriers that it's unheard of. And as someone who has been affected by physical barriers most of my living life, it's crazy to imagine. And again, I see that for business future.
Hey, adversity builds character and perspective, and if you've had
Right.
that in your life and it's bringing you a perspective that helps clients with their digital transformation, then you've turned lemons into high level lemonade,
I
right?
love that. I love that, Andrew. Yeah.
Now we've broached the subject of COVID a couple times. Obviously, in terms of digital transformation and connectivity, you're now talking about just about every company in the world at least increasing the percentage of their employees that were remote, if not going completely remote. So there were challenges there. Tell me how
Mhm.
you've managed to grow the business through COVID.
Growing the business through COVID, I think kind of speaks to my presence here. I got brought on during COVID because we realized that we are a digital company. We need to speak digitally to our customers. And we're at an age where physical storefronts are starting to go by the wayside, arguably. Many places are taking up the work from home expansion, and we're no different in that regard. We've worked very hard to maintain a level of quality, a level of care going remote during this time, and I think we've seen the most growth from a company standpoint during this time. It's almost like everyone became motivated to put their best foot forward and to really showcase Oz as the expert in transformation that we believe the company to be.
Hey, not everyone thrives working remotely, but if you're a self-motivated person and there are metrics in place to keep you on task,
Exactly.
it can be incredibly productive, right?
And not only that, I want to say even from a cultural perspective too, when you institute, let's say, weekly meetings with your work from home team, your
Mhm.
remote team, there when you institute ways to kind of build community without the presence of, like I said, those geographical barriers, you create, I feel, something very beautiful. And Oz has been able to build up during this time, but also build up others during this time, which so beautiful.
Excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So put on your marketing hat. What role has content played in the growth of Oz?
It's played out, Andrew, but it's true. Content is king. No one knows what Oz is doing without a voice. No one sees what Oz is doing without visuals. And we are doing. We are getting out there and we're creating change for these customers. And I'm glad that I personally get to tell some of that story. I'm proud that I can talk about how our case studies are coming out now, and according to the new formats that we've worked very hard to create, is showcasing how hard we worked with customers over these past couple of years. And I think it's made all the difference. We've seen a huge increase in visibility. It's beautiful to go to a conference as we have been this year. A lot of physical events are starting to take place, which yay, very happy for some normalcy.
Yeah.
Um, and in these spaces, it's very refreshing to hear, wow, I saw you guys come up in a meeting. Wow, I saw your guys' booth last year. I'm so happy to see you guys again. I really wanted to talk and connect with you about what you can do. And most recently, we're actually at a conference right now, Commercial Lines, and having worked so hard on this visibility, we actually had an attendee approach us saying, listen, I know what you guys do. We're a little off in terms of your ideal client, but we want to work with you. What can we do? What can we do together? And I think right there, that conversation is the difference that content makes.
That's excellent. Hey, Oz has found the right guy to carry the torch, and I hope they appreciate you as much as you appreciate the opportunity to help people transform.
Well, I very much appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, look in your crystal ball. A year
Mhm.
from today,
Mhm.
what would you like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
A year from now, what I would love to celebrate is a few things. I would love to see Oz at 30,000 followers. I would love to see regular engagement on our social media with clients who care about the content being posted, who want to know about the technology that is changing our landscape and will define future generations. I want, I say we want to be heard and to have communication, to have a conversation. And if that's happening every day, a year from now, I would be ecstatic. I would be ecstatic.
Hey, hey, that's a universal, right? I think everyone wants to be heard and needs to be heard. And the fact that we meet remotely now means that we have to tell our story in these new ways and these new
I agree.
outlets.
Yeah,
And that's where we are. That is a transformation that is happening to everyone, right? So
absolutely.
please tell us what URL people can find Oz Digital Consulting and what social media outlets you're using these days.
Of course, we are, as I mentioned, working on making a robust social presence. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, but primarily at our URL, which is my favorite to say, so simple, followoz.com.
Excellent. Josh Skirvin at Oz Digital Consulting. Thank you for letting me peel your onion a little bit today.
I love it, Andrew. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the
My
opportunity.
pleasure. All the best to you and yours, and to a fruitful future for Oz Digital Consulting. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Andrew. Have a great day.